Welcome to WagerTalk TV. Kelly Stewart here with Teddy Covers and Marco D'Angelo of WagerTalk.com. Today we're going all things bankroll management. Why? Because we believe here at WagerTalk that is the most important key to your success as a sports bettor. Teddy, I'm going to go to you first. Bankroll management is so key. It is going to make or break someone. Can you kind of explain one step backwards why it is so important?
So it's not going to make someone, it's only going to break someone. The issue that most bettors have is they overestimate their winning percentages and they overestimate the chances of them going on a negative run. And the truth is, I've been doing this since the 90s. Marco, you've been doing this since the 80s. We've all had good years, we all have bad years. But more than that, you have good weeks, you have bad weeks. And over the course of time, you expect to have more good weeks than bad weeks. But inevitably, the best handicappers in the world are going to go through negative stretches. So the biggest issue that people face when they're overestimating how many wins they're going to get or what the chances of them having a slump are, that they burn their bankroll during any slump. And I did it when I was a beginning bettor. I'm confident you did it when you were a beginning bettor. I remember double or nothing through the whole NBA playoffs. And Reggie Miller game, I had a double or nothing on a bet on the Knicks. Ha, ha, ha. I'm laughing with my bookie on the couch. And then true story. And that was a double or nothing. It was the biggest bet I ever made in my life at that time. Because I'd been getting my ass kicked at double or nothing and double or nothing. Once you build a bankroll, you can't do that stuff anymore. And you're talking about relatively small percentages. If you have no bankroll, I'm not going to tell anyone that isn't the bankroll, you can't bet more than 3% of your, if you have $100 to bet, you're not making a $3 bet. You're making a $10 bet or a $15 bet or a $20 bet. But as your bankroll increases, you can't do that. Your percentage of bankroll has to be small, and that means money management.
Yeah, Marco, let's talk about that, because Teddy's speaking to, I'm guessing, guys that are betting nickels and dimes and looking for the long game here, right? We always talk about that at Wager Talk. This is for the long haul. We're not talking to the guys betting $5 parlays, those ones you see on, DraftKings, or those crazy FanDuel slips with the egregious cash outs. That's a whole nother video. These are the guys that are wanting to do this, maybe not for a living, but as a really great part-time hobby, and assure that their wife is not going to kill them for blowing through, $20,000, $30,000 in a year.
Well, if you want this as a side hustle, so to speak, yes, but you got to treat it like a business. That's the very first thing that you got to do. And if you were starting a business, you would have to have capital to start a business, right? So that is your bankroll, your capital. You take that and you have to protect that. And by protecting that, for me personally, and yes, I'll agree with you, you learn the hard way. You learn from your mistakes and what you do. For me, I'm on a conservative nature. I will never have on any single day more than 10% of my bankroll in play. And I'm talking when I'm on a Saturday in college football or college basketball when you have a monster slate. I minimize what my plays are because that also minimizes your risk. And it's step and repeat every day. You're going to have losing days. You have to be able to accept the fact that a losing day is the cost of doing business, and you don't try to chase. That's the mistake that most people make. If you ask me one mistake that people make the most, you have a guy that maybe, let's say he's a $100 player. He bets the Thursday night game. He loses. All right, Friday night there's another game. He makes another $100 bet. Saturday he might make 4 plays, goes 2-2. Sunday he goes 1-2. Now he's down 300 plus juice going into Monday night. All of a sudden, that guy is not a $100 bettor.
Double or nothing.
Yeah, he's betting 400 because he wants to show a profit for the week. And that's how you take a losing week into a disastrous week. Those are the mistakes that people make, and especially if you're betting at credit shops versus here. And that's why I always said, remember the debate when everybody was trying to legalize sports betting in a different state? You're going to ruin families. That was the best thing because there was always bookies. There was always a guy on the corner.
There were always going to be bookies.
Okay.
And they'll take bets on credit.
Right.
Versus actually having to put the cash out.
Yeah. You can't lose more than you have in a legal sports book.
Correct.
Nobody's giving you credit. You got to take the money to the window.
And Marco, you said the single most important statement, and I want to re-emphasize that. If you want to do this successfully long-term as a business, you have to treat it like a business. If you treat it like a casual hobby, you'll get those type of results. If you actually want to say, I'm going to make money long-term betting on sports, You're not risking huge percentage of your bankroll in any given wager, and you're taking it as a professional approach and not a, oh, well, I'm down 400, let's bet 600, exactly. Yeah. Like, which again, we've all done. I did it. I'm confident we've all done it as beginning bettors. But if you last in this business, or you last even as a casual bettor, if you're going to last more than a year or two, bankroll management is the most important skill you can have, because that way you don't blow it when you have a bad day or a bad week, or inevitably you're going to have a bad month. And that matters.
To elaborate, you could actually pick more winners than losers, but if you're somebody that's tying everything up into parlays, you're going to be a loser.
Sure, and especially, you win this bet, you win this bet, you win that bet. Oh, I'm really good. I'm going to bet 5 times my normal amount. That's the one you lose. Oh, I just went. I hit 78% this weekend and lost money. That's what we try to avoid.
I'll say this, give a little shameless plug to my friends over at Pickett. Ever since I attached my legal sportsbooks to my Pickett account, I have realized, hey, maybe college football totals are not your thing. Maybe even if you get good information, maybe you should not bet them. Going 1-8, that kind of killed me on a year that I went 74-72 in college football. I mean, I didn't make money last year in college football. I had a couple nice outright underdogs, but it was a rough year for me. But holding yourself accountable on some of these apps that you can attach to your legal sports books are a really great way to look at it. If not, go old school. Put them in a spreadsheet. That's what I did for years. You can kind of start to see, oh, wait, maybe player props isn't my forte. Maybe if I didn't bet those, my college football or college basketball season would have been a little bit different.
And that's a really key point. People think money management. If you recognize what your best sports are and what your best wagers in those sports are, you can make appropriately sized wagers and still be in action on other stuff as you try to improve that skill, but for a lower bankroll amount.
Oh, trust me, Teddy, if the PLL, they would let me bet more than $250 a game, we would just probably never bet college football ever again. All jokes aside, Marco D'Angelo, WagerTalk.com, you guys can check him out on Bet On It every week. Teddy covers WagerTalk.com. You can check him out Monday mornings on the Opening Line Report. If you guys are interested in any of our other videos, stick around. We got another one coming right up.